Jim and I do welcome in Mark Byers, the incoming executive director of the PIAA. That
Thanks.
title will take place on the first of the year. First of all, congratulations. What are your thoughts on taking over this organization?
I think first and foremost, I'm just humbled by the opportunity, thrilled with the support of Bob in this transition, but also with the board and having faith in us moving forward.
How's the transition going?
You know, Bob, it's fantastic.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
He's setting us all up for success, and I think our transition with the staff that we have in place will continue to just get better as we move forward.
How did you find out that he was going to retire? How did he tell you? How did it all play out?
You know, I think it's been a work in progress. Bob was fortunate enough to serve as president of the National Federation, finishing up his term this last June 30, and I think that's when he started to see the transition coming. He talked to me over the last couple of years, but nobody was pushing him out the door.
Right.
You know, he certainly, outthinks you during the day, but then outruns you in the morning. There's nobody with more energy.
Yeah, that's for sure. Do you have a vision for taking over in the start of the new year?
Yeah, I think maybe a little bit of that is the thought that one person does this. And my vision, everyone's asking me, what are all these changes that you're going to make? We're in a great position right now, but there's literally hundreds of volunteers across our state that make PIAA go. It's not the 15 people in Mechanicsburg that make it go. And so that collective vision, our steering committees that work together make recommendations.
That's right.
And the direction of the board is ultimately what's going to keep us being successful.
Jim, I said earlier this afternoon, Dr. Lombardi, a graduate of East Stroudsburg University, you are as well, and so is the incoming. I guess you got to have a degree
I'm in
from
great
East Stroudsburg.
Yeah, 2 executive directors in a row. Bob
Yeah,
and
right.
I were the same number at East Stroudsburg, number 20, played soccer there, and we probably occupied the same area of the bench while we were there as well.
What a small world, huh,
No,
Jim?
it's great. I mean, to keep that legacy going for the East Stroudsburg grads.
That's right.
What do you think will be the difference now with you being in charge? You've been around Bob Lombardi for a long period of time now. What are some of the things that you're going to copy from what he did, or some of the things that you may think about changing?
I think the number one thing that you can define Bob's tenure at PIAA going the whole way back to 1988, well before I, had any ambitions of doing this, is everything student first. And so any decision making, any pathway forward is always going to be with one mind that we're doing the best interest of student athletes in Pennsylvania.
Good.
You're
that's a great
also
look.
a graduate of Carlisle High School. You were raised on Billy Owens. How did that kind of affect your path in life?
Well, I think having a father that was a coach and teacher in the school.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I was in the wrestling room as opposed to the basketball gym. So I think our youth wrestling team at that time went from about 70 to 25 because everybody decided to pick up a basketball because of the legacy of Jeff Lebo and Billy Owens. But Carlisle was a great town to come up with and have a lot of fond memories.
Yeah, tell us the story about the tickets and getting tickets to the playoff games.
Well, even regular season games with the different matchups that they had with Harrisburg at the time, it was a 1,200-seat gymnasium.
That's
So I think Carlisle had the original Krzyzewskiville where people were camping out overnight to buy tickets in the morning to a short regular season game. And then as they made their playoff run with the advanced tickets, Carlisle fans were driving to the opposing teams to buy up all their tickets. So when you showed up, 75% of the house was Carlisle fans. So that's when you started seeing schools check IDs to make sure you had a local zip code or they weren't going to sell you a ticket.
Yeah, 2 children, student athletes as well, both in college right now.
Yeah, very fortunate. Zach is a junior at Grove City running track. My daughter just finished up her freshman season at the University of Iowa playing field hockey.
What are you going to miss about not having Dr. Lombardi around? And I know he can be a character at times.
There is no doubt about it. We have to put a bell on him because he just shows up in the office. You have no idea where he's coming from, and the next thing you know, he's standing behind you. But I'm going to miss his friendship. That day-to-day friendship, it certainly isn't going to go away, but having him in the office, having his knowledge base to draw on, that's what I'm ultimately going to miss.
Will there be a new hire to take over your roles, and how will your role change now within the organization?
I think the biggest difference for me is I'm going to take a step back from our championship events, serving as tournament director. I've been involved in a lot of events, but that tremendous staff that we have right now, we've made a promotion. We've also made some job changes. Pat Gephardt's going to move up to Chief Operating Officer. Jen Grassel's going to be moving to Senior Director of Member School Services and Sport. Lindsey Barner's going to become our Director of Communications and Sport. Keenan Huss is going to be Director of Operations and Sport, keeping that terminology that they're all tournament directors. And we promoted Alex Micah to our Director of Officiating Services and Sport.
Certainly seems like everything is in good running order. Mark, want to wish you great success and welcome to your new role. And we certainly, anything that we can be a part of and that you need from us, please let us know.
Thank you. Enjoyed having you both involved.
Yeah, Mark Byers, the incoming executive director of the PIAA. His role will start in the first of the new year. We talked earlier to Bob Lombardi. Mark, again, we wish you great success.